This is Intelligent Logistics, a podcast from Position Imaging, the pioneers in tracking technology. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Intelligent Logistics, a podcast from Position Imaging. I'm your host today, Tyler Kern. Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of the show. Today, we're going to take a broad look at the industry. Where are we in more of a post-pandemic landscape? But we're also going to talk a little bit more about Position Imaging's iClip technology. And so joining me here today is Ned Hill, the CEO of Position Imaging. Ned, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, Ned, thrilled to have you back on the show today. But let's start off here. Just tell us a little bit about what the industry looks like right now from a high level as it relates to package handling and things like that.
I think there's a disruption right now in the industry. There's a lot of things in the logistics space in general trying to sort of right itself after the pandemic, and I think there's a lot of good evolution. I think in our industry, our computer vision platform is just sort of part and parcel to that. As people try to, make sense of this new age of sort of the explosion of e-commerce fulfillment, it was a natural evolution to start to, find better solutions. And I think that's where the industry is right now. It's been fascinating to see, everything on last mile delivery. You've seen the supply chain issues that people are having, and many companies in this space are looking to technology to help them. And so it's a good time. It's a lot of innovation, and we're thrilled to be sort of part and parcel with that. Like I said, right in the center.
Absolutely. This is something that we've talked about in the past, but the pandemic really shifted a lot of consumer behaviors and ways that consumers maybe approached purchasing items. But have you also seen a shift maybe in terms of what people want to have delivered compared to maybe pre-pandemic times, whether it's larger items like furniture or things like that? Have you seen a shift in that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think people, not just in terms of sort of the technology, everything, but the behavior has been sort of expanded in their online orders to include everything. Furniture, we've had tires delivered, we've had a lot of rugs. People get everything delivered these days, and I think that sort of bodes well for us because our solution, computer vision, there is no limit, or even the iClip that we might want to talk about. There is no limit to what we can track and keep track of. Again, I think this is part of the behavior of people when the pandemic hit. And really before that, they were starting to realize that they can order everything online, and why not,
Absolutely. Yeah, I could never order tires because I would have no idea how to actually get them on. But, good on people who do know how to do that.
That's absolutely right.
So Ned, tell us about some of maybe the latest and greatest technologies and some of the innovations that you mentioned earlier. What are you seeing in terms of how technology is evolving to keep up with the demand and maybe the changing consumer behaviors?
Well, I think, through the veins of logistics, right, there's a lot of AI going on for, fulfilling orders, essentially. How are you best routing orders? Where are they going? UPS is doing a ton of that with how they can consolidate delivery points. There's a lot of AI in the background of how you're coordinating that, sort of the airport tower, coordinating planes. Well, it's the same thing in logistics. So there's a lot of technology behind that. On the front end where we sit, there's also sort of that enabling human, sort of outsourcing the labor to the human component of this, which is really what we do best. We'll take technology and make sure that people can, find packages or assets or whatever that they're looking for easier and more intuitively. And I think, that's another space where technology is really helping streamline and take the friction out of the process of transfer of goods.
Have you noticed maybe property management companies also working differently or evolving how they work and cooperate with delivery services like UPS or FedEx or anything like that? Has that shifted at all?
Yeah, I mean, the days of, I think, the dump and runs at these, especially at these big multifamily buildings, are ending because staff can't take these packages. I mean, they're just flooded. I mean, it is seriously a tidal wave of package deliveries, and unless you're going to get some help with the couriers of the world, your staff is going to be overwhelmed. And I think part of that is the demand of helping couriers streamline their process. We do a ton of work helping to make the delivery process for couriers easy. Like we have character recognition; they don't have to input anything in the machine. They don't have to talk to people. We're even launching next month a product called the in-room scanner, which will allow them to just bring stuff into the room, scan it, and place it on a shelf. So it couldn't be any easier. So I think a lot of this is industry accommodating to the needs, but the needs are clearly there for these property managers to not only take the burden off their staff, but then help and work with their couriers to make sure that there's a streamlined process of deliveries as it's coming into these buildings. Otherwise, it's just an absolute nightmare, and we've seen it.
I'm picturing someone at like a reception desk, just absolutely like buried underneath, an avalanche of packages. Because you're absolutely right. It is a tidal wave of these deliveries that come in every day. And so, let's talk a little bit about iClip. Tell us a little bit more about what iClip is and maybe what it does for deliveries.
Sure. So the iClip is a patented product that we invented here. Actually, I've got one right here. And it's sort of a clip to light with super crazy smarts, right? So what you do is you bring in a delivery, whether the delivery would be dry cleaning or food, it doesn't really matter. And you just simply clip this and pair it with the customer. If somebody comes in and takes the wrong package, for example, the wrong delivery or the wrong dry cleaning, the clip would alarm and let you know, because we've got smarts baked into this. If somebody closes it or opens it when they shouldn't, it'll alarm. If you move it, even it will alarm if you're not the one that's supposed to be taking that item out. So the iClip is really, really flexible because it enables buildings, retailers, everyone to start to pair orders, quick service restaurants, pair orders with customers easily, right? You don't need any special equipment. You just put a clip on a bag, and the bag knows it's for Ned Hill now, and then it will be cleared by me when I come out. The process of registering yourself is the exact same. I come in, I've got a package. It could be a food delivery or it could be a package from UPS, but I'd shine my QR code, and instead of the laser pointing to the package, you go into the fridge and the iClip is glowing, blue, for example. And that's the designator. All right, Ned, that's your clip. You take it and you leave. So just a very good solution for packages in the residential market. Like I said, dry cleaning and dry cleaning, food delivery. I mean, this has a temperature sensor in it as well. So that your food from Fresh Market has been delivered and kept in the right environment. But it can also be used in retail environments, and that's what we're doing with. We're actually launching it in London, I guess next month in the innovation showroom at NCR, and which will be really fun because this is going to give retailers. I mean, why do you need robotics and automation and all this stuff when you can simply clip these things and make it super simple for staff and super simple for customers coming in?
How do you picture iClip maybe helping create some new efficiencies and really adding some flexibility to operations for retailers? Or you mentioned a lot of different potential use cases, whether dry cleaners, all of these sorts of things. Where do you see efficiencies being created by iClip?
Well, for one thing, it's self-service, right? You don't need staff to be going out and hunting for your whether it's a dry cleaning delivery at a residential building, or whether it would be an order that you bought online going to the store to pick up. Everything can be applied to these iClips, where the staff simply needs to clip these things to anything that you're coming to pick it up, and then it's paired. And then when you come in, you just like I said, just like the normal operation that we have today, you'd shine your QR code, your particular clip lights up pink or yellow or whatever we've designated for you, and then you take it and you go. So really frees up the staff, both the residential buildings and at retailers, and it makes a contactless, humanless interaction with for customers and residents, which in today's day and age is a really good thing. So, I think there's tons of efficiencies that can be added by this. Self-service just being one of the obvious.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that temperature tracking is also and temperature sensing is really interesting, especially as more, food is delivered and you need things kept at certain temperatures and whatnot, as you see meal delivery services and things like this, and things packed with ice packs and things like that. This is increasingly important, as again, the way that we order and have things delivered has shifted, and the items that we get on a regular basis has changed quite a bit.
That's right. That's exactly right. It's an exciting product. We're thrilled about it, and we think it's going to be a huge help to people.
And where did you say that you're going to be launching this? You said in the UK next month?
Yeah, well, we're actually launching at Stuytown for their residential community, I think next week, and then we'll be in, and our retail launch will be in with NCR in London in October.
Fantastic.
We're talking to some quick service restaurants as well, so we'll probably do something along those lines later this month or later this year as well. So there's just so many different use cases. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. And for more information and to keep up with all of this, you can always head to position-imaging.com for more information and to stay up to date with the latest. And so, Ned, as you look forward to 2023 and maybe even beyond, where do you see the industry continuing to move and develop and grow? And how do you feel like technology is going to adapt and move and grow along with it?
Well, I mean, I think, we're seeing the trends that aren't going to change, right? There's an increase of online sales. And like you said, Tyler, there's going to be people are ordering more and more different things, more and more things in general online. So the industry continues to move and solution providers like Position Imaging are just going to be sort of hustling to make sure that we're at the forefront to enable, this frictionless fulfillment solution, because that's the real hiccup. If you have any kind of friction in that process at all, you are going to get buried pretty quickly. And so, I don't think anything will change. I think everything expands because more and more industries are realizing that you can outsource labor if you make the process incredibly intuitive and simple for people. And that's our goal. And I think you'll see that continuing as time goes on with the industry, because it has to keep up.
Absolutely. And you mentioned frictionless there, and that calls to mind previous conversations we've had on the show about the iPickup technology. And it's not something we've discussed yet here on this episode, but for folks that might not be familiar with iPickup, can you give us a quick overview on that and what that allows for? Yeah,
I mean, iPickup as a brand really just enables fulfillment, right? It whether it's at the residential building, which is Smart Package Room as part of our iPickup platform, the iPickup clip. We have an iPickup tag coming for the airline industry, and then we have iPickup points for couriers. So when couriers want to go, to drop off packages at retail stores, as opposed to driving 10 miles for somebody's, to somebody's house in some back neighborhood. They've created these Pudo points, very big in Europe. We just launched in England with UPS last month. And so it's the same process, right? You come in, a courier stages packages that are to be picked up at these retail stores, puts them on a shelf. I get a text. I'm notified that my package is waiting for me. I get there, I shine my QR code, points to my package, and I'm gone. So it's a very leverageable platform, this iPickup platform that we've created, and it's I think it's going to really ease the pain of a lot of these pain points at the end of the logistics chain, like retail Pudo points, like multifamily residential package management, like BOPUS at retail, buy online, pick up in store. I think that's where we're focused, and we can leverage what we've done to date, and I think really change some things. Excellent stuff. Ned, any final thoughts? Anything you want to leave the audience with here today before we wrap up this conversation in this episode of the show? No, I think we've covered most of it. I mean, I think it's going to be an exciting time. 2023 is going to be shaping up to be a pretty monumental year for Position Imaging. And it's been a lot of heavy lifting to this point, but we're starting to see the benefits of all that. So it's an exciting time, and the fact that the industry is evolving so quickly is just a beautiful serendipity with our company. So anyway, it's exciting and fun to be part of this company right now.
Absolutely. And to stay up to date, like I mentioned, with everything going on into 2023 and beyond with Position Imaging, head to position-imaging.com for more information. Ned Hill, CEO of Position Imaging. Ned, thank you so much for joining us here on the show and chatting a little bit more about iClip, iPickup, and everything going on in the world of delivery. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tyler, for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And everyone out there, thank you for tuning into another episode of Intelligent Logistics podcast brought to you by Position Imaging. For more, like I mentioned, you can head to the website or you can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to stay up to date with the latest going on at Position Imaging. And stay tuned. We'll be back soon with more episodes of the show. But for this one, for Ned Hill, I'm Tyler Kern. We'll talk to you next time.